one revolution.
Bookmarklets on standby.
Log online, fan page loaded and ready.
Player stats, loaded. Health check, go.
Weapons check. Eyes check, complete.
We have launched for the Informant podcast in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Informant podcast. I'm Pistol Pete from Stockholm. Tonight I have with me Jennifer, the Mafia Wars Loot Lady, and Jana, Death by Gucci.
You did it.
See,
No MIG.
I'm learning. I'm trainable, maybe.
We always point out that the MIG is gone, so people will never forget.
I know. I've been getting a lot of requests. It's been funny. People are
MIG's
so
not
nice.
gone, but-
People have been so cool.
Yeah.
Trying to
lot
get
of-
you into a family.
Yeah. And I actually tagged up with a bunch of old friends that have been kind of nice that are people that I was originally in MIG with, and so it's kind of been nice to get to know some old friends again.
You shouldn't call people old.
Yeah, Facebook old. That doesn't mean old.
I know, I'm
Facebook
just
old
messing
is
with you.
different, right? And so, yeah, it's been an interesting weekend. What have y'all done?
I went and saw Brave.
I did too. It was good. Did you like it?
Yeah. Oh, the other one I saw was Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Oh, I wanted to see it. Is it cool?
It's awesome.
It looks cool. It's Tim Burton, right?
It sounds stupid.
He is the greatest president that ever lived.
Hey, wasn't there one that came before this?
He's at Disneyland.
Abraham Lincoln?
Yeah.
He's at Madame Tussauds, too.
He's on the $5 bill.
He's on the penny. Woo!
He's all over the place.
Got a fact. Oh, I have good news. My local fire is 100% contained as of noon today. So
That's good.
Really awesome. And last night I went to a fundraiser burlesque show, which was different, and I'd never been to anything like that, and it was crazy, but it was raising money, and it was out there right at the beginning of where the land was charred, and we drove in there, and I felt so much weird energy, and just seeing all of the blackness was so crazy. But the beautiful thing was all these people had signs in their yard thanking the firemen, and I was able to buy a few firemen a beer last night, which made me feel good.
Oh, that's cool.
They came from your town, too. They were volunteers from Vegas.
Oh, wow.
And they were going back home today because we got containment. And
Uh-huh.
so, yeah, that was the really good news. The bad news is there's really bad weather all across the country and still a lot of bad fires here.
Yeah, Mike Nestor had to leave his town because of bad weather.
No power. They had it really bad.
Yeah, no internet. Can you
My friend
imagine?
Sonia, a lot of people right now.
Well,
I'm still
you can
waiting
head
here.
to the what do you call it? Where do you head? The Starbucks.
Yeah, that's what I do when I lose power.
Find a Starbucks somewhere.
He
Yeah,
could
but Mike
do
couldn't
that,
even
so
find a hotel.
Yeah,
that
he had
power.
to leave the state.
Yeah, and he loves his internet so much he was willing to leave the state.
And it's so funny because he makes those email bonus links for us every day. And he can actually find the Zynga links before they post them.
Yeah.
And so for 2 days, those were late and people were freaking out. And it's once in a while, we're going to mess up and not have those for you.
Well,
But
that's what started worrying Jen. She wrote to me and said, "Have you heard from Mike? It's been so quiet." And then that's when we started to realize that we don't watch TV.
Well, it was like when
Yeah.
we thought Pete was missing.
Yeah, you
you know,
guys can't do that.
And you're like, no Mafia Wars posts for 22 hours? Like, something's not right.
Yeah, that would be yeah.
And then when it's Mike, you're like, whoa, something's really wrong.
That is really creepy when you can't find Mike and you look at his wall and there's nothing there. Because usually he updates you. Even when he's on the road, he still gets on Skype with us usually.
He gets his phone.
I know. So panic set in.
Mike is fine, and he has
Yes.
internet now. So all is good in the world.
And hopefully all of our listeners are, because I know it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So just a rough summer for people, I'm telling you. Anyway, Pete, anything changed for you this week or not?
Trying to think actually. Probably no. Not. There's a couple of things that have been out there a while that I don't know if they've ever really gotten mentioned, and some of them have been shared in the checklist section. So, for example, Brandon added again, I don't know if he releases it, if it's called a spocklet or if it's called a bookmarklet. We'll have to make a determination on that. There'll have to be a ruling by a judge, I suppose. But he released something called the Admi-O-Matic, which is like the old days when Josh Miller, he had an Admi script that would basically find people in your family, in your Facebook side, and add them to your family. Well, Zynga kind of removed that ability for a while. Well, Brandon found kind of a workaround to make that happen, and so he created the Admi-O-Matic. And so if you run that, and if you can't find it on our wall, or I'll have to just check and see if it's inside the toolbar as an option. But this way, it's another way that you can add those people that are your Facebook friends that are not in your Mafia yet, and it works really, really well.
It's nice, too, because Zynga still has not fixed their Mafia War invites. And the only way to really get someone in your Mafia is for them to accept a gift or you to accept one from them.
Right.
And Robert Rubel, I hope I pronounced his name
I think
right.
so. That's how you say it.
Yeah. He's the one that figured out that you could do this through using a wish list, but not everyone posts their wish list. And then he talked to somebody else, and I'm sorry, I forgot the other guy's name. And then that guy and Brandon worked on coming up with a script to automate it.
Right.
Where you didn't need to find an actual wish list.
Yep. So they did find that, and that became the Admi-O-Matic.
Admi-O-Matic.
Yep.
I'll
So that's out
that
there in the world. And then there's other things like now, obviously, we're doing, and Jen's going to talk about the details of the new
Hellish
game thing, the hydraulics thing. But there's a for those that let me back up because I'm kind of getting tongue-tied a bit today. But there's a group out there for those people that use the checklist and use the checklist regularly, and there's lots of shared ideas on things and little tricks, if you will, of navigating through the game and doing different things with the checklist. And one of the things that was added was an Ask for Hydraulics feature. And so if you go out and search for the Spockholm checklist in just a Facebook search, there's a group out there that you can ask permission to join, and in there you'll see released some of these additional checklist items. Now, when a checklist item gets popular enough that's been created by somebody else in the community, then Ike usually ends up adding it to the fan page section of the checklist. But since now the checklist is integrated with the toolbar and loads on launch, this is something that you may want to look into, is these different little neat features of navigating through the game, like the Ask for Hydraulics, which will take you to the hydraulics page and ask for those items every 2 hours, which is what the timer is on it.
That's nice.
Yeah. So, and there's things out there for like the email bonuses, which Jen alluded to, Mike, keeps up to date with and stuff like that. The daily skill point takes you to the Zynga page. So there's all kinds of stuff. I use it where I have a specific, target I use for my war. So I have an action that takes me to that particular page, and then I run, I declare war against that individual. So, and then I have it for timers for other things like the Mafia Manager and things like that. So, but there's lots of shared resources out there that people do share with regard to the checklist. And if you have not used the checklist, obviously, I would recommend it. There's good features in there. It's a nice add-on to kind of help manage your game a little bit the way you want to. And now there's also, which a long time ago I said was there and it really wasn't in place fully yet, which was the notifications. And if you click the Do It button in there, it actually now there's an option to say automatically check it and complete it, which wasn't working when I last discussed some of the new changes coming with it. So those are kind of nice. So the notifications
that's
are
a
great.
good group.
Yeah, and then they're a very active group too. They come up with a lot of different things that sometimes you don't even think of, and you're like, oh man, that would be easy. Like there's things for purchasing your Fight Club energy refill. That'll take you right to the page to do that, and just really easy stuff. But
then other script writers too, if they write something, they usually will post a link to add it to your Spockholm toolbar in there too.
Yep.
So you get to see a lot of other things that are out in the community.
That is true. Just trying to think if there's anything else out there that there was something the other day I came across and I said, oh man, I haven't seen that mentioned in a while, but I don't remember what it was.
There's a lot of things out there. I try to keep up with them and make blog posts when they happen.
Yeah. It wasn't really, some of them weren't scripts per se. They were just features added to the checklist that, hadn't gotten mentioned before and stuff like that. So anyway, I guess that's probably it for tonight.
Oh, we should mention, I know you talked about the dumper, the VLA-inator on the last show.
That's what it was.
And people are very anxious for it. And I know like last time I talked to Brandon, he said he had to fix one more thing.
Yeah, it was
But a lot of people are going to really like that.
Yeah, and I think it was what Ike said was that he was going to go ahead and see about just adding it to the Defender as an option. So. Well,
that's how it works, right? It works through the Defender.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think you could have it by itself.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it.
I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I won't tell the secret until it's released.
Oh, she's got secrets.
Well, there's a special secret that makes it work.
Special secret sauce?
But if I say, then someone else will write it real fast.
Okay. Let's see.
But I think it's a little complicated because it's taken them a while, but it does work.
Nice.
And it's not speedy. Like, it takes a while. So don't think you're going to get a clean inventory in 2 hours.
Right.
That's what VLA loves. He can't stand anything that's not active. He wants it out of his inventory. And a lot of people are like that. It's like the opposite of OCD, where you want one of everything or as many of everything.
That's still obsessive compulsive behavior.
Yeah, it's the opposite of wanting too much. You want to be a minimalist. And some people do say when they get rid of a lot of inventory items that their page loads faster. I don't know if that's true or not. That might be a placebo effect of it all, to give yourself a reason for caring if you have like 5 of something versus 5,000.
Yeah. Or 50,000 or 150,000.
Yeah. Well, like that first run of VIP loot, that stuff dropped like crazy. And I saw like Pete and Mike Nestor have like 30,000 of these items. And the most anyone would ever need is 500, which you obviously need less of because of the other items that are better. But that's a bit ridiculous.
It all confuses me.
Yeah. And then speaking of the VIP loot, it's about time for the next month of VIP to roll out. It's going to be July 5th.
Is this the silver edition?
Yeah, then people that have been a member for every month, they should get the silver benefits. And one of the interesting things about those silver benefits, it says 2 additional VIP loot items will drop. And that's making me wonder, instead of releasing 6 items, are they just now going to release 2 a month? They never said we're going to do this every month. They just said regularly.
Hey, did you notice, and you probably did you notice on the VIP pop-up window that it now has a date?
Yes.
When you reach your next achievement?
I did, and I made a blog post about that, but it was interesting to look at the comments. It wasn't put on everybody's account, and I think just the people that are going to move up, it was added.
Oh, okay.
And there was something that for the people that got the VIP program late, it did mention that, you would still be upgraded to silver.
Late as in somewhere in that.
Late as in Zynga not allowing everybody to have access.
Right, because of them rolling it out.
Yeah.
Is it completely rolled out?
It should be, yes.
Because, I do recall seeing some people still complaining about it.
Well, they made an announcement on their blog and said it was rolled out to everybody.
Oh, okay, good.
And they weren't too happy about, there was a manual way and some scripts were written to kind of force the offer. Right. And they didn't like that because it wasn't really, you still wouldn't get the VIP in your marketplace, but you could still buy it. So you would get the loot drops. Mm-hmm. So it was shortly after that they finally got it out to everybody. Yeah. But for a few months it really made people mad, and now it shouldn't matter because we're on our 3rd generation of VIP loot. We're don't know if the next one's going to have 6 items or 2 items, but the newer items kind of replace the older ones. So if you did start a month or two late, you're not really behind. You might be in a couple of the categories, but